Hello. So I am going to do a headstand tutorial, and I've been wanting to do this a while. I actually did do one, but for whatever reason I didn't post it. So I'm going to do a tutorial now for working on headstand the way that I learned it. So I think slow and steady wins the race for headstand. I did not learn it with a wall. I'm not like totally anti-wall, but you don't want to be dependent on the wall. And you're trying to have core. You're really engaging your core. So you have the core, the balance, and your strength, kind of all combined. Not so much, and flexibility when you get in and out of it. You'll see um, all of those play a factor. However, the main thing is you want to have that core stability, because just trying to kick up and kick up and kick up into headstand because you want to get upside down. I've heard so many stories, and people falling over and flipping over or crashing into the wall, crashing into furniture, hurting themselves or rolling over sideways on their neck, and it's just not worth it. Okay, so this is the way I learned it, and I learned it from books actually. Before I even stepped foot in a studio, I was learning at home for a good year, I think, and I learned from the David Swenson Ashtanga Yoga book. So here we go. All right, so it's time to prep for headstand. First of all, you want to make sure that you have a little extra padding here on your mat. So maybe take your mat and double it, but make sure you double it enough so you have plenty of space here for your forearms and then some. You don't want too soft of a cushiony, but a good double mat at least. And then come on down. So you want to take your hands around your elbows. So why are we doing this? We're doing this so our elbows are right below our shoulders. If we don't set up like this, the tendency is to have the elbows further out. And like if you're building a house structure or something, it can slide further out and you collapse. So you want to have that strong foundation. Some tutorials, they'll take a strap even, or if you're in a workshop, take a strap around your arms and kind of tighten it. And if you do have your elbows sliding away, maybe I'll show that in another video, but without using a strap, just do this, wrap around. So once you wrap around, keep your elbows here and bring your arms forward now. Now interlace your fingers and open the palms. And so your crown of the head, the very top of your head is going to be on the floor, and you're resting the back of your head into your hands, okay? Like this. You're looking back at your feet, lift up, and just like that, you're going to be holding. Now, walk your toes toward your body as much as you can. Walk them in. And I know I'm flexible that I can walk them in pretty far, but just stop wherever you stop, wherever. And you can even bend your knees. Here, I'll show it this way. So even if you don't have the hamstring flexibility, you can bend your knees and still pop up on your toes, bring your thighs toward your chest. What you're trying to do is get your pelvis as much as you can above, because that's where the balance is going to come in. As soon as you see your pelvis, and you'll notice nice and even, the balance is already there. So my toes are off the floor, the balance is already here. And this is where, when we do build up to headstand, have it here first, nice and solid, and then it's just a matter of heading up straight, adjusting your shoulders and everything. Make sure you're solid in your headstand, okay? So I'm going to go over the steps again. So here we go. You're set up. Lift up, walk your toes in. Maybe walk your toes in as much as you can. Then I want you to take one leg and bring that knee to the chest, and then pop up on the opposite toes. So the foot that's on the floor, try to lift the heel as much as you can on the toes. Because if my heel's down, you see my pelvis moves away. It lifts, it's closer in alignment. Hold it in. And then take that foot down. Try it on the other side. Bring the knee into the chest. Lift that heel of the foot that's on the floor. Hold it in. And take child's pose for a couple breaths now. Okay, so you'd like to do that, but maybe you have neck issues or it just does not feel good on the neck. Ultimately, when we're in headstand, as I was taught, we're actually lifting the head off the floor. So even though it's headstand, our head is not on the floor. So you might as well, you can try that here as well, and that way your neck is free too for the practice, not for when you go all the way up, but just for this like downward dog position. Okay, so now we're going to try that variation. Set your head down first. Okay, lift up your knees from the floor, straighten your legs, and now lift your head from the floor. Maybe walk in a step or two. You might stop right away. That's it. Very intense. The shoulders are working. Keep lifting the head now. Push the arms into the floor and hold. 5 breaths. My upper back, everything's really active, really engaged here. Good. And before you come down, you're probably going to have to step your feet a little bit away. Drop your knees. Just take a child's pose. We'll do that 3 times. Okay. Again, set the head down first. Lift up those knees. Walk your feet in first as much as you can. And then lift the head. You can have your heels on the floor or lifted. When they're lifted, it's like a opposing force. It's even harder. It's pushing your upper body more toward the floor, and you're fighting it by pushing your arms and forearms into the floor to resist and come on down. Okay, last set, and these are great. These are the same muscles that you're using when you are ultimately in headstand. Okay, so set the head down, lift up, walk it in, yeah, and lift the head, just barely off the floor, and hold. You can bring a knee into the chest, you can try that as well. Whew, welcome back down, and come on down in child's pose. So those are great things to do when, like at the end of my classes, we always allow time, mostly. I like to allow time always to work on your inversions, your headstands, shoulder stands, and so forth. When we get to the headstand point, just do something like this. And then at some point, you'll know when you have that solid foundation to start that headstand, to start taking those feet off the floor. Okay, one last thing before I shut off that you can do is just come on out into plank. So if you don't even want to work on headstand because of maybe neck issues and so forth, just come on out into plank on your forearms here. Hands can be interlaced or right in front. We'll keep them interlaced for this one. Hold, draw the belly in, 5 breaths. And then start to come forward a little bit. So my shoulders are forward where we don't want to stay long, but just for the inhale, and then exhale, push back. Forward, maybe dip your head down toward the floor and come back. So this one is a little easier to do with your hands out now on the floor, palms. So you can come forward, you can dip even lower, come back. And then walk your feet, in like the downward dog. And try it from this version. Look straight down, come forward. Palm, crown of the head almost taps the floor or does, and then pushing back. Look back at your toes and hold for a couple breaths. One more time, look down. Just come forward on an inhale. Exhale back. We don't want to hang out so long like that. You want to have good form. Hold here now. Walk the feet in as much as you can. Walk them back out and drop your knees, sit back. Child's pose. Good. So those are the prep stages for a solid headstand. And if you already have a headstand, I'll save that for another video. So this is all prep poses to get into a solid headstand the safe way. So hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you have any requests for further videos or comments or something else you want me to add with the tutorials. Thank you.